So they can go on there yesterday. Yeah. Yeah, I figured it was going to be a problem.
Yes. Yes, that's what I was just going to say. I was going to say, if we wanted to have some of you kind of pull forward just a little bit, this camera is here where it's only going to get me. It's not, yep. I mean, from here, I'm cut off right here. There we go. Good. Okay. Good.
So when the birthday's coming up, who's? This girl. 22. Friday. I don't even keep
Friday. Okay, so we'll go ahead and start in seated today. Blocks may or may not be needed, just kind of depending on your preference for today. And we did, I had talked about quite a while ago doing that, a workshop coming up for the spiritual healing for grief and loss. That's going to be a 2-hour workshop. We're looking in September. So I'm really excited for that. Yes, please save magazines for an art project. There's going to be art projects and a lot of learning. So we're going to look at grief from the Native American perspective. I grew up learning a lot of their traditions and everything. So there's a lot of really beautiful traditions and practices they bring in that help just see grief in a whole new light. So this is one workshop that is something I just absolutely love to do. And by no means is this like depressing or downing. This is all about uplifting and really enjoying life and enjoying all of its experiences. Yes, it really is. And we have, they gave me some dates. So September 10th is the one I chose out of the 3 they gave me. And we're looking at 3 p.m. So that should be the date, unless something changes between now and then. So I'll let you know when it's actually confirmed. But we're looking at September 10th, 3 to 5. If not, it'll be the following Friday. So that's a Friday. It'll be right here in this room. We won't be doing yoga, but we'll be doing yoga in a different light, right? So yoga is not all about the movements, but it'll be more of a learning and soul talk and open communication rather than that. So yeah. So, but with that, we'll go ahead and tune in. So find your comfortable seat. Send your sits bones down to the earth and your crown of head up towards the ceiling. Your shoulder blades down and back. Spine is tall and long. Eyes can be closed or gazing down. And breathing your natural breath. So you're not changing your breath in any way, just allowing it to flow in and out. And any thoughts that come in, they will allow them to just be there without expanding on them or asking questions about them. You simply allow them to come and go. And now you're going to begin to count your inhale. Count how many seconds it takes you to breathe your natural inhale. Good. And then your next breath, extend your exhale 2 seconds longer than your inhale. So if you inhale for 3, you're going to exhale for 5, and so on and so forth. And now you're going to pause for the same amount of seconds as your inhale. So you'll inhale, if you're using that example we used, for 3 seconds, pause for 3 seconds, and then exhale for 5. Your inhale could be 4 seconds or longer. Your inhale and your pause are the same length. And you've got that 2-second extension on your exhale. And let's do 3 more breaths like this. Once you finish, you're going to bring hands to your knees. Good. And then you're going to bring in some seated cow-cat. So you'll inhale, really open your chest, chin can lift. Exhale, round your spine, chin to chest. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Move on your breath, your pace. Eyes can be closed or open. And one more round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. And then come back to center. Good. And then you're going to inhale both hands up overhead. And now we're going to side bend. So take your right arm down, left arm over to the side. Good. Then you're going to inhale back up to center and switch sides. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. And 2 more times each side. Moving on your breath once again. And last time, and then you come back to center. Hands to your knees, and now we'll do some rotations. Round we go, inhale forward, exhale back as best you can. 2 more circles in this direction, and then you'll go the opposite way. And 2 more circles this way, and then you come back to center. Good. And then you guys can stay as you are, or you can turn to the side. Just take your legs out wide. Might have to just scoot up or back so that we're not. Good. And then from here, we want to just keep this movement very small, subtle, and central. So hands are going to come to the center, and you'll inhale, really lengthen through your spine, and exhale, maybe just a half an inch or an inch bend. Inhale up to center. Exhale, once again, fold. Inhale, center, very subtle movements. Exhale, center. And after about 3 or 4, once you feel a little bit warmed up, that's when you can move out just a little bit further. Maybe you're going out 2 inches now. Inhale, center. Exhale, back to 2 inches. Inhale, center. Good. And after about 3 or 4 again, that's when you can gradually move out. Toes and knees point straight up to the ceiling. Good. And we'll do 3 more folds, and then you're going to hold when you're down. 3, and hold. Breathe. Feel the stretch on the back of your legs. Maybe you can flex your toes a little more towards your face. 1 more breath here. And then you'll come back to center. Bring your legs in, give them a nice little shake. Good. And then we're going to do a little bit of a core warm up. So plant your feet on the mat. And you're going to take your hands back behind you, fingertips pointing towards the front of the room. Really lengthen your spine up first. Good. And then you'll lift your feet, and we're going to do knee in. So you'll lengthen and inhale together. Exhale, lengthen, inhale together. Lengthen together, 10 total. So this is number 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Then plant your feet close to your body. You're going to wrap your arms around your knees and tuck your chin into chest for 2 deep breaths. Good. And now you bring your hands back behind, same position here. We're just going to hold this time. So lengthen through your spine first, and we're going to hold your legs out. If you need to tap your heels down, feel free throughout the 10 seconds. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And come back to that curled in position. Feet are nice and close, chin tucks to your chest. And breathe into your low back. Really feel the expansion there. 1 more breath. Good. And you're going to come back. So if this is too much, keep your knees bent here, and then you can just stretch one leg out and bring it in, and then switch, alternate. Because we're going to be alternating this time. If you were doing pretty good for the last 2, then go ahead and bring your feet up, and you're going to alternate heel touch down here. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. Then feet planted, round and wrap, chin to chest, 3 deep breaths. Good. Now you'll make your way to hands and knees, tabletop. Please. So checking in, wrists directly underneath your shoulders, knees right underneath your hips. And we'll bring in a couple cow-cats here. As you move your body, notice what's happening with your hip muscles. Notice how they kind of lead the way. Notice what's happening in your core. And one more round. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. And then come to your nice neutral spine. You're going to tuck your toes and lift your hips into downward facing dog. And really pedal your dog. You can get your hips into this movement. Good. And then find a little stillness in your downward dog. Press firmly into your hands. The pads right underneath your fingers, right where you would get calluses. Reach your heels towards the mat, even if they never touch. Hips up towards the sky, and your chest goes towards your thighs. And then engage your core. I'm going to show you kind of a new way, but the new way is to knit your front ribs toward one another. So if you can do that here, we'll go over it a little more thoroughly when we're standing. And then bend your knees and walk your feet up towards your hands into forward folds. Good. Then inhale, halfway lift. Really reach crown of head and tail away from one another. And now exhale, fold. And then you're going to inhale back to your halfway lift. And now as you rise, I want you to keep your flat back as you think sits bones to the mat. Move your sits bones to the mat and rise with your nice flat back. Good, beautiful. And from here, we're really going to get into mountain pose. So go ahead and rock on your feet, maybe forward and back, side to side. Feet can be together, hip distance, or slightly wider, your preference. And then before we do all the mountain pose, let's talk about this core engagement. So I said front ribs knitted in. We're drawing those ribs toward one another. And it's almost as if your ribs and your hip points are like now a jaw closing and opening here. So if you take your thumbs to your lowest rib and your ring finger down to your hip point, and then you bring in that engagement. So ribs toward one another, you can feel everything come in and together. Exhale, release, and squeeze, and release, and squeeze, and release. One more time, squeeze, and release. So a new way to engage your core, rather than belly button to the spine, which is only going to get a couple muscles, ribs knitted in is going to engage all of these muscles of this area here. So now we'll get into that mountain pose. Ground into all four corners of your feet. Feel the legs engage, your calves, your quads engage as you squeeze them toward one another. And then your tailbone again is going down towards the mat. Front ribs knitted in, core engaged. Roll your shoulder blades down and back as you reach fingertips for the mat and reach your crown of head towards the sky. And breathe. This is a nice engagement we should have for a mountain pose. Maybe just think of this next time we're here. very active. One more breath here. Good. Then your next breath, you're going to inhale, arms up overhead, palms face each other. Squeeze that core in, and exhale, sink into chair pose. So hips go back in space. Knees are not crossing toes. If arms get tired, they can always come to heart center. Good. And then exhale, fold forward. Now inhale, halfway lift. And then you're going to exhale, plant your hands and step your feet back to downward facing dog. Good. And inhale, lift your right leg long. Bend your knee and circle your ankle. Try to keep your shoulders both square. Beautiful shoulders, everyone. Excellent job keeping them nice and square with the knee bent. Good. And circle your ankle the other way. Good. Then lengthen your right leg out long. And now you're going to send your right leg through to meet your thumbs, in between your thumbs. Good. And we're going to come into a warrior one. So adjust your back foot as needed. 45-degree angle. If you have trouble with your hips getting square, straighten your front knee, turn them forward, and then bend back into it. Really knit your front ribs in here, and then inhale, arms up. Again, hands can always come to heart center if they get tired. Press through the outer edge of your back foot and the heel of your front foot. Feel that strong foundation of legs. Good. Then palms meet. Knit your front ribs in one more time, and we're going to come into lightning bolt. So just hinge forward slightly. Beautiful. And inhale back up to warrior one. And then exhale, pivot your back foot into warrior two, parallel to the short edge of your mat. Good. So your arms open up to the front of the room. And your hips are going to be open for this one, Gloria. So they're facing the, yep. Beautiful. And from here, send your tailbone back down to the mat and your core engaged. So we don't want that sway back in our warrior twos. You all look wonderful that way. And then your front knee should be tracking towards your pinky toe as opposed to tracking towards your big toe. Good. One more breath here. And now flip your right palm up to the ceiling and reach back, reverse warrior. Last breath. And exhale to warrior two. Good. Now everybody's going to pivot your front right toes towards the wall. Then hands clasp behind your back. Inhale, really lengthen up first. And then hinge at your hips and fold forward. Hands can stay right here at your waist, or they can lift away. One more breath here. Knees can have a soft bend. Then bring hands to the low back. Inhale to halfway lift. And then send your sits bones down towards your heels, towards the mat. Use your back body muscles to lift you up. Good. And now you'll toe heel your feet in together. And find that nice mountain pose right where you are. Really ground into all four corners of the feet. Feel the calves. Your quads engage by squeezing them toward one another. Sits bones down towards the earth. Cores engaged, shoulders down and back. Fingers reach down and crown reaches up. 2 more breaths. Good. And now you'll take that quarter turn back to the front of your mat. Inhale, arms go up, palms face. Knit your front ribs in and send your hips back into space, chair pose. Hands can always come to the heart center as needed. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Then exhale, plant your hands and walk your feet back, downward facing dog. And lift your left leg long, bend your knee and circle your ankle. Keep both shoulders nice and square, pressing firmly into the mat. And circle your ankle the other way. Good. Then extend your left leg nice and long. And inhale, sweep your left leg through in between your thumbs, warrior 1 pose. Good. And again, if you need to straighten your front knee to get your hips squared, go for it. Always taking time in these poses. Knit your front ribs in. Press into your front heel and the back outer edge of your foot. And then imagine you're drawing those 2 knees toward one another. So you're really feeling that strength and foundation in your legs. Good. And now palms meet. Once again, knit your front ribs in and then hinge forward lightning bolt. Nice long neck, long spine. Last breath. Inhale back to warrior 1 and exhale, open up to warrior 2. Pivot your back foot. Good. And check in here once again. Sits bones down, core tight, front knee towards the pinky toe. Good. And reaching arms away from one another. And then reverse warrior, you're going to flip your left palm and reach back. Last breath. And now you come back to your warrior 2. And then pivot your toes now towards the double doors. And this time, hands are going to come down to the mat as you hinge at your hips and fold forward. Good. Then you can walk both hands over towards your right foot. Knees can have that soft bend. And pass your hands through center to the other side. One more breath. And then come back to center. Inhale, halfway lift. Crown of head and tail away from one another. And then sits bones down to the earth as you come back with that nice long spine. Good. And then go ahead and turn your toes now pointed outward. Good. Bend your knees, and then we're just going to sway side to side. Warming up a little bit here. Good, then come back to center. See if you can bend your knees a little bit deeper, and then sits bones ever so slightly down, core engaged. 2 more breaths. Good, straighten your knees. And now toe, heel, feet together. And 1 deep breath in your nice mountain pose. So ground in first, all 4 corners. Legs are squeezing, tailbone down, core engaged. Shoulders relaxed, fingers down, and crown up. Good. Then you'll take that quarter turn to the top of your mat. And inhale, arms up, palms face. Core squeezes in. Exhale, hips back, chair pose. A little bit different this time. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Now plant your hands and walk your feet back, downward facing dog. Good, then inhale, lift your right leg long. And exhale, bring right knee into nose. 3 times. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose, and keep it there. And then plant that foot in between your thumbs. And we're going to come up for warrior 1. Really take your time to square your hips, core engaged, arms up when you're ready. Pressing the outer edge of your back foot, heel of your front foot, and then draw them toward one another. And now with your pinkies, really turn your pinkies toward one another and squeeze your forearms as if you have a block there. There's some resistance, so you're creating some strength in your arms as well here. 1 more breath. Then palms meet and lighten both. You're going to hinge forward. This time, you'll inhale back to warrior 1. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hinge, really using the core muscles and hip flexors. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hinge. 1 more time. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, hinge, and hold for 1 breath. Inhale, warrior 1. And exhale, open up to warrior 2. Bringing in a little movement here. So first, find your nice warrior 2, sits bones down, core engaged. Front knee to the pinky toe side. And then you're going to inhale, straighten your front knee as your arms come up. And exhale back to warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your arms up. Exhale, warrior 2. 3 more times. Last one. Good. Now you're going to flip your right palm up to the ceiling and reach back. Warrior, reverse warrior. And then straighten your front knee here. You're going to keep your legs as they are now. Inhale, release, lengthen. And then exhale, bring this into triangle pose. Now inhale, modified reverse, legs stay as they are. Bring your arms to that reverse warrior. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, reverse. 2 more times. Last one. And now you come back to your warrior two. Now you're going to pivot your right toes towards the wall. And then hands come down to the mat as you fold forward. Good. Great modification, taking the block and allowing it to raise the height of the floor. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold in if you can, a little bit more. If you can't fold in anymore, just relax into where you are. Inhale, lengthen last time. Exhale, relax. Good. Next inhale brings you to halfway lift. And really bring sit bones back to the heels as you come up with your nice long spine. Great. And then turn your toes pointing out. Both toes pointed out, kind of like that ballerina. Yeah, good. And then bend your knees into goddess pose. And this time, practice your arms in both posts and squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. Core is engaged. Mid front ribs knitted in and breathe. One more breath. Good. When slowly straighten your knees, relax your arms down. And you're going to toe heel feet together. And ground into that mountain pose. All four corners of your feet. Thighs toward one another. Sit one down or engage. Shoulders relax. Fingers reach. Crown of head reaches. Last breath. And then quarter turn to the top of your mat. And you're going to inhale, arms up, palms face. Knit your front ribs in. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Then plant your hands and walk your feet back, downward facing dog. Inhale to lift your left leg long. And exhale, knee to nose. Two more. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, knee to nose. Last one. And now send your left foot in between your thumbs. Warrior one. Take your time to get in your stance. Nice and firm. Knit the front ribs in. Then inhale, arms up, palms face. Keep those ribs knitted in. Use your hip flexors and your core to hinge forward. Exhale. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, warrior one. Two more times. Excellent. Very nice. Yes. Then inhale here for the nice strong core. And exhale, open up to warrior two. Back foot parallel to the short edge of your mat. Tailbone down, core knitted in. Second your front knee. Good. And then you're going to inhale, straighten your front knee, arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reach. Exhale, warrior two. Two more times. hold your breath. And then straighten your front knee as much as it comfortably goes. And then you're going to keep your legs as they are. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale. Reverse warrior. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, warrior. If this is ever a lot on your hip, you've got 3 more. You could always turn your front toes the same as your back toes. And then you'll just be getting into your weights a little bit more than your hips. Good. And then move back to the warrior 2. And now pivot your front toes towards the double doors. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Inhale, really lengthen up. And exhale, hinges your hips as you fold forward. Hands can stay at your hips or they can come away from your body. Whatever feels good for you. Knees gentle. Lift. Beautiful modifications. Excellent. Spines and legs. Last breath. And then hands to the low back. Inhale, halfway lift. And really use your sits bones, your hamstrings to lift you all the way up that nice long spine. And now you'll turn your toes out, release your hands. And we're coming back to that dog's pose. You can bend your knees. And then you're going to interlace your hands right behind your head. So right where the back of your skull and your neck meet. And the elbows nice and wide. Good. And then we're going to do a little side forward. So you reach your right elbow to your right knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, left elbow, left knee. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Switch. Center. Left. Center. Right. 2 more times on each side. Last one. Come back to center. See if you can see your hips just a little bit lower. Core stays nice and engaged. And then exhale to release your legs and arms. Totally. Good. So if you need some water, now it's a great time for that. You have a little water sheet. So for workout today, I'd like to do, if you've been in my class before, we've done a lot of energy exercises in this class. So kind of explain each one. This one is a daily routine I do every day. It brings a lot of peace and balance in my life. It's also really great if you're having any body issues to kind of get things more aligned and balanced. So we're going to start with the 4 thumps. So take your 3 first fingers, and you're just going to thump your cheekbones. And this is gives you a nice grounded, stable, and secure energy. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. A little bit for energy. 2 more. That's good. And then fingers just below your collarbones. Nice firm. This is really invigorating. Same breath. In through your nose. It's also the energy flowing in the proper direction. And now from your chest. Same breath. This one is great to boost your immune system. Give you an energy boost as well. So, yes. Good. And now you're going to bring your fingers to your rib cage. 4 thumps. This is great for metabolism. It helps you digest your food, your tops, and then you toss them. One more breath. Good. And then you just relax again for a moment, one breath. I'm going to rub your hands bigger together. Simply ignite all the energy points from our hands. And then shake them off. Shake off the stale energy that got in there. And rub your hands one more time. And then you're going to take your right hand to your left shoulder. This is a crossover shoulder pull. Push into your shoulder. Then you're going to draw your right hand from your left shoulder down to your right hip. And opposite side, left hand here, push in and drop down to your hip. Good. And we'll do this 3 times total. So this exercise gets your energies cross over as well as feeling ill. Sometimes you feel sick. So that's when you have maybe a mild cold that can help. Last one. Good. Then we've got the cross call. Another one to get your energies crossed off. Opposite hand to knee as you march. Standing. And then we're going to do, this is called the Wayne Cook posture. So you're going to cross your right foot over your left. And if you need to have a little separation in your feet for balance, that is always okay. They can also be crossed any way you can cross them. So just, yep. So as long as they're crossed, whatever gives you balance here. Then you take your arms out ahead of you. Cross right arm over left. And then thumbs down, interlace your fingers, and bring this in the chest. If this is too much on your arm, you can always bring opposite hand off to shoulder. And then breathe in deeply through your nose as you lengthen up. Exhale through your mouth, relax your shoulders. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale. Good. This one is really great to unscramble your energies. Anytime you have tough emotions like heartache, sadness, anger, frustration, this exercise can help release those. Flat side. Good. Then both feet straight. We're going to do the opposite side. So left foot now crosses over right. Arms out, left arm on top, and thumbs point down, then interlace. And if one side is off different than the other, it's okay to modify it as needed. Good. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale. Really great in the middle of an argument. You could do this, actually. So the person, I need a timeout. Last time. Feet come back to parallel. And then fingertips touch, palms apart, and thumbs to the middle of your eyebrows. Good. Then inhale, lengthen up your spine. Exhale, relax the shoulders down to the ground. One more breath. And to end this exercise, you're going to curl your fingers in to meet your forehead. Press into your forehead and then pull apart. Good. And now we're going to do that one more time for the crown fold. Same thing, push in and pull out. And now we're going to do this all the way across the top of your head, across the back of your head, until you make it all the way down your neck to your shoulders. So So this exercise is great to relieve headache. It also gets the blood flowing, fluid, and lymph flowing in your head. So it's just opening you up to receive more. And make it down to the bottom of your neck and shoulders, just going to hold there. You're going to push in and hold, inhale, and then exhale, release. Right. Next, we've got the blowout. So let's rub our palms together. This is another really great one for those tough emotions, letting all those go. Bring your hands down by your side. I'm going to demonstrate it first. You guys can just watch. I make fists here. Inhale, arms up. Exhale with a forceful blow. Hand open up down the center of my body. So that's about the second. So inhale with fists. Exhale, open up with forceful breath. 2 more. That's one. Good. And now we'll do the zip up. So this zip up is really great if you're doing affirmations. So today we'll bring in affirmations. I am enough, or I am loved. So you're just going to think that in your head, whichever one resonates more, I am enough, or I am loved. As you pretend you're zipping yourself up like a coat. So bring your fingers down to your root area and zip it up to your bottom lip. I am loved. Lock the key right at your bottom lip and then toss it away to really seal that in. Good. And the last one here is bring 2 fingers to your middle of your forehead and 2 fingers to your belly button and push in and pull up. This is all your energetic systems connected together, working and flowing. One more breath. Good. Relax that. And take 2 deep breaths here. Just relax, letting all that sink in. Good. And then you're going to make your way down to your mat. Slowly take your time. We're going to come all the way down to lying down flat. And once you're lying flat, bring feet planted as wide as your mat and arms out into a cactus shape, maybe some bumping neighbors. Good. And then your windshield wiper your knees. Two more times. Good. Come back to center. Have your knees in the chest and rock from side to side. Good. And you'll come back to center. And you're going to allow your feet to go up towards the ceiling, legs at the wall. Knees can be bent as much as you like. And try to just let this be really relaxing here. Two more breaths. Good. Now bring knees into chest, hug your knees, and rock side to side one time. And then come back to center. And you're going to pick up your head and squeeze every muscle in your body. Squeeze your toes, feet, legs, arms, hands, back, face furrowed. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then exhale, release everything down, long and wide. For your final Shavasana, resting pose. Close your eyes. Breathe your natural breath. Allow the thoughts to drift away, meaning you're not expanding on your thoughts or asking questions about them. You're letting them come and go. At the end of the class, I like to do a little essential oil and a soft touch. If you prefer no touch or no scent, I will never be offended by this. Just place your hands on your belly.
Could you tell us if it's a floral one?
I'm going to tell you what's in here. So we've got orange, clove bud, geranium, lavender, and patchouli. So, again, if you prefer no touch or no scent, place the hands on the belly. Otherwise, bring yourself to your favorite beach. Imagine you're walking in the sands. Feel your feet sink into the warm sand with every step. Take a deep breath in, you smell the scent of that fresh sea air. So strong that you can taste a little salt on your tongue. Gaze out, see the bright, brilliant blue sky. You hear the waves washing to and from the shore. You felt a nice, soft area to lie down in the sand. As you lie down, feel your body sink into the sand, and the sand ever so slightly blanket you with its back. fingers and toes. Maybe rock your head from side to side. And whatever you're ready, you're gonna find a transition pose. So maybe you just bend your knees. Maybe you roll onto one side. Wherever you are, just take a moment to be grateful for your energy systems and your body's ability to help heal itself. For these systems that keep us flowing. And as you're ready to come to a comfortable seat, with eyes closed. And then inhale, arms up overhead, palms meet. Reverse your palms facing outward. Very slowly exhale, bring your hands down by your sides. Notice if you can feel your energy field around you. Maybe you can use another sense. Maybe you see, hear, smell, or taste something. As your arms move through the air. And hands to the center. Thank you so much for joining me and allowing me to be your guide. I honor and appreciate the light inside of you. Namaste.
Thank you.
Very nice.